Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today I have three different sets in one review, being LEGO Star Wars mechs. Now this is the first time we've ever gotten mechs in the Star Wars lineup. Not gonna lie, I'm not that excited about these, but I'll give them a chance. So first up we have the Darth Vader mech. This is 75368. Next we have the Boba Fett mech 75369. And then lastly we have the Stormtrooper mech 75370. Now all three of these mechs are actually going to retail for 16 US dollars, not 15 like the original rumor was, which is pretty high given that you're only getting one minifigure in each of these sets. You can get a LEGO Star Wars Battle Pack for $20 and get 4 minifigures and almost the equivalent piece count as well. They each range between like 150, 170 pieces between the three sets. So inherently, when you look at the other LEGO Star Wars sets, especially battle packs, you're just not getting the greatest value. In fact, it's not really a great value at all, but we'll talk about that. Now, what a lot of people are talking about is this Boba Fett mech, specifically because it has a brand new version of the minifigure. It has a brand new arm printing set. It's actually different than what we've gotten from the Slave 1 UCS set back in 2015, and I think 2018 we also got a Boba Fett with arm printing in the Master Builder series, Cloud City. And so this is the first time we're getting an arm printed, Return of the Jedi based Boba Fett. Probably going to be the one most people look at simply because they want the minifigure alone. I mean, the arm printed Boba Fett in this style goes for anywhere between $80 to $100. So the fact I can get it in a $16 set is very appealing. But as for the Stormtrooper and Darth Vader, you can obviously get these in other sets. So we'll talk about that towards the end. It's also worth noting, I don't know why, but the Boba Fett box, for some reason, is much larger than the other two Stormtrooper and Darth Vader box. And it also has a slightly different box art style. I really don't understand why. Maybe they just realized everybody's going to buy the Boba Fett box, so it's got to be a little bit bigger, a little more chunky. Now, these are European boxes, so this might not be the case if you're in North America. And speaking of which, I do want to thank LEGO for sending these sets over for review. With all that said, let's go ahead and go into the in-depth and see what these new LEGO Star Wars mechs look like. So to my surprise, there's some brand new elements that I've never seen before in these LEGO Star Wars mechs, which is just a nice little additional perk if you don't want to actually build the set and maybe you just want to buy it for the minifigures. Speaking of which, let's take a look at Darth Vader, our first figure. This is the same Darth that we've been getting over the last couple years, so great arm printing, great face print, great mask, looks solid. Next, we have the Stormtrooper. Now, this is a female Stormtrooper, and in fact, it's using the armor that we got from the Trash Compactor set, which was previously exclusive to that, so now you can get it in a much cheaper set. And I saved the best for last. The brand new Boba Fett minifigure exclusively to this LEGO Star Wars mech set is fantastic. The arm printing is top tier. In fact, I think the arm prints are better than the ones from the UCS Slave 1 as well as the Cloud City set. We're also getting a brand new face print. Just an overall great minifigure. It's unfortunate, though, that we didn't get his cloth piece. So now let's see what LEGO Star Wars mechs are like. First up, let's go ahead and take a look at the Boba Fett mech. This is probably the best looking one out of the bunch. Just the colors really pop out and look really good. The proportions are nice on this set. You'll notice there's a printed 2x2 tile, not only on the Boba Fett mech, but all three of them have printed 2x2 tiles. All three of them have no stickers, which is nice to say. You'll also find little clips for accessories, not just on the Boba Fett mech, but also the Stormtrooper mech, as well as the Darth Vader mech. So if you want to put the blaster on for the Stormtrooper, and you want a place to put Darth Vader's lightsaber, Darth Vader actually has a little area on the backside, which is kind of funny. It almost looks like a little antenna sticking out. Going back to Boba Fett's mech, we're going to take a look at the articulation here. First off, there is some good posing ability here. Unfortunately, though, joints both on the knees and elbows are not posable. They're locked in with this specific piece. And unfortunately, I feel like that limits your posability, specifically with the arms. I think a lack of elbow articulation is just a big downside. Lastly, we have the bigger blaster that has a stud launcher on it, and it is fully removable from the mech. You can also take that Technic pin out as well, so you have two fully open hands that you can do whatever with. And then lastly, for Boba Fett, he does have a jetpack on the backside, which has a little bit of nostalgia with a flick-fire missile. Next up is the Imperial Stormtrooper mech, which actually, again, looks pretty good. It looks like a giant version of the minifigure in a mech form, so, it does its job. You'll notice that 2x2 printed tile in the middle. Unfortunately, the backside's pretty bare, and I wish we had some inverted tiles to cover up that middle area. Lastly, we have the Darth Vader mech, which again has those new little pieces that I have never seen before. Maybe they've popped into like Speed Champion sets or something like that, but that's the first time I've seen them in Star Wars sets. And then there's that printed 2x2 tile for Vader. You'll also notice he has a brand new mold for his lightsaber piece. This is all new. This is not the same one that the construction figures used in years past, so that's cool to see. And for those of you who simply hate the idea of LEGO Star Wars mechs, maybe you're going to buy this set simply for the figures and you just want to take the pieces and utilize them for your own sets or creations. Well, as you can see, there's actually some pretty solid pieces. I gotta say, these are pretty decent LEGO Star Wars sets. For a kid, they're going to have a lot of fun playing around with these. For adults, you can collect the figures, so it's kind of a win-win, and it's not super pricey either. So to be fair, these sets aren't inherently that bad. I could see LEGO Star Wars fans getting this as their very first LEGO set when they're a kid, and not gonna lie, they're fun. I mean, they're very fun to pose. The one big criticism though I could give about the mechs is the elbow joints on all three of them do not move. They're in fixed positions. It makes sense for the knee joints to be in a fixed position for the legs, but for the elbow joints not to have that extra flexibility, it does limit your posability with these figures and actually like really get exactly the angle you want with them. So that is my big criticism, and that if LEGO continues to make more Star Wars mechs, I would like to see that fixed and just be a regular ball joint, because that would be a lot better. Now it's worth noting that LEGO has a weird obsession with like action figure mech type of figures. It's not the first time we've gotten something like this in Star Wars, and more recently in other themes, LEGO's been doing these like brick built action figures, which personally I find these figures extremely creepy. The construction figures, which were discontinued probably about 6 years ago, they were around for a good amount of time, and you never got a minifigure with them. They're very Bionicle-like. They had a cool aesthetic to them. They have a cool look. They never really fit into like the bigger LEGO system unless you were building like Bionicle or Technic type of stuff. There wasn't really any normal LEGO pieces with these type of sets. And so that's why I do actually think the LEGO Star Wars mechs make a lot of sense. You're getting normal LEGO pieces. You're getting great minifigures, actually. I mean, these are all minifigures I would personally want if I couldn't buy higher expensive sets. So that's nice. And then, they're actually fun to play with, if I'm being quite honest. So there's 3 good factors as to why these exist. Now, of course, I would love to have more LEGO Star Wars blister packs. Those were $15 last year in 2022. We haven't seen any more of those. And we could have had maybe potentially 3 blister packs and 3 minifigures in each blister pack. Like, that would have been awesome. And yes, I would definitely agree we should get that instead. But for some reason, LEGO just has this obsession with mech action figures, and so they will continue to do this as they have done in previous years. And with that, I think this is the best iteration yet of what a action figure type of set could be in the Star Wars realm. You're getting the best of both worlds. You're going to please fans, especially with like the Boba Fett here. Collectors are totally going to buy this simply because of the minifigure. This Stormtrooper with the new armor was only in the trash compactor last year, and that was an $80 set, $90 set, and now you can get it in a $16 set. That's nice. Darth Vader, he's been super common. You could get him in like a $30, $40 set pretty recently. So Darth Vader's probably like the least appealing mech out of the 3. Of course, he's such a cool character, so I see why LEGO, chose Darth Vader. But looking towards the future, if LEGO continues to make LEGO Star Wars mechs in 2024, if we get another wave of 3 like we did here, man, clone troopers would be great, specifically like a Phase 1 Cody, Phase 1 Rex, heck, any Phase 1 clone trooper, Phase 2 clone troopers, specific troopers that you wouldn't want to be in a battle pack because it's army building, but you also want the easy accessibility of a lower price point under $20. I think LEGO Star Wars mechs make a lot of sense for that. So I think to appease the bigger LEGO Star Wars fan base, I think Boba Fett here is a great example. If you put a unique, desirable minifigure in these $16 LEGO Star Wars mech sets, they will sell and fans will be excited about them, even if the set themselves is relatively boring to us collectors, but to kids it is far more interesting and does have a lot more playability. All of these minifigures are a decent deal for the pieces and the minifigures you're getting. Obviously, I think these really realistically should have been like $10 to $13. I think 16 is high, but we're only talking about like $2 to $3 difference there. So at that point, if you're interested in the figures or if you like the mechs, which I'm not gonna lie, they're not bad, then I think $16 is fairly reasonable. But of course, getting a battle pack at $20 is going to be the far better deal where you get 4 minifigures. But given that we wouldn't want to see Boba Fett or Darth Vader in a battle pack, it makes sense to have them in like these $16 mech sets. Now the Stormtrooper, this could easily be in a battle pack, so hopefully one day. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the description below. Are you going to be picking up any of these new LEGO Star Wars mechs for $16 starting on August 1st, 2023? Or do you think LEGO just made a huge mistake creating this entire line? Very curious what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.